Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today I just got a lot of stuff on my mind that I want to get off my chest here. A lot of stuff. So, as you guys know, I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. I think he's one of the three greatest players of all time behind Kareem and, of course, Michael Jordan. Of all the players that I saw play live, although I did see MJ at the tail end of his career, Kobe was a player that I've never seen a person play basketball better than Kobe Bryant, number one. Number two, I've never seen someone as impressive in terms of an athlete if you look at his mental approach, not just to his craft, but to life. You know, Kobe Bryant was obviously highly intelligent, could speak multiple languages. The guy even won an Oscar, for God's sakes, after he retired from the NBA, right? So just a very, very unique person, right? Very, very unique. But when I watched him play basketball, I believe that Kobe Bryant inspired literally millions of people all over the world. He even came up with the concept called Mamba mentality, something that allows everyone who's a follower of his to participate in some of the Kobe Bryant, teachings and things like that, right? Kobe was really, 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 really special. Kobe Bryant, when he was playing, when he was in his prime, not his prime, but even when he was prime, towards even the tail end of his career, I believe he was by far the most popular NBA player. And you saw that exhibited, especially when he went overseas. If you don't understand just how popular Kobe Bryant was, go look at Kobe Bryant during the Olympics. He was by far the biggest draw, right? I mean, he was it. Even with all, and the thing I think that made Kobe Bryant relatable was that people knew that Kobe was human. They had seen his high moments, they had seen his low moments, which is something that all human beings have. And the thing that I think a lot of people appreciated about Kobe was that he was unapologetic about his humanity. He wasn't trying to put on a face or act one way and do something else. A lot of people have described Kobe Bryant, to be frank with you, as an asshole. But I don't think that's something that Kobe Bryant ran away from. He embraced who he was. And that's what makes people real. That's what makes people real, when you are yourself and you're not trying to be two people at once. If you listen to people talk about Kobe, the vast majority of people that have described Kobe Bryant all describe him the same way, right? So when Kobe was playing, if you follow the NBA, it was clear to see that Kobe Bryant was the best player in the world for a number of years. I thought this was obvious, right? He was the best player. And when Kobe was winning those championships, especially championship number 4 and championship number 5, the conversation really started to heat up yo, could this guy actually catch Jordan? Could he be just as good as Jordan? Could he one day get 7 rings and be better than Jordan? This was the conversation. Everyone was comparing Jordan to Kobe. Why? Because number one, they were very similar. They were both winners. They both played a very similar basketball game. Tremendous two-way players. So it was only, and of course, Kobe patented a lot of his game after MJ, although I think Kobe did some of the things that Michael Jordan did and took it to a higher level, to be honest with you. Kobe Bryant was I think Kobe Bryant was the better ball handler. Obviously, MJ was the better defender. I think they were probably equal in passing. MJ was obviously stronger, more athletic, but Kobe Bryant was a little bit more elusive, and I think Kobe was a little bit more creative with some of his shots in terms of the shots that he would take on the court, although he got the majority of his game from Jordan, Jerry West, Hakeem Olajuwon. Kobe was just a trendsetter. When you listen to him talk basketball, even sit in those press conferences, you started to realize that a lot of guys would mimic some of the stuff that he says, like don't get too high or too low. Who the hell you think used to say that? It was Kobe. And then people started to mimic him. But then what happened? Towards the tail end of his career, when he got injured, he tore his Achilles tendon. Kobe Bryant put out a declaration because it was a team with Steve Nash and these guys, and they weren't playing well. And Kobe said, I guarantee you that this Lakers team is going to make the playoffs. And guess what? They did. They did. Kobe made a guarantee that happened. He's like, we're going to make the playoffs, and they did. And then he tore his Achilles with 2 games left in the regular season. They got swept in round 1. But towards the tail end of his career, especially if he got injured, I started to notice that some media people started to come out there and say crazy things about him. Things that they would never say when he was actually playing. And then came along a guy called Nick Wright. And then Nick Wright came out and just started to attack Kobe viciously when First Things First started. And I used to wonder myself, why is this guy going so hard at Kobe? Even when Kobe would, have a comment, one or two comments to say about LeBron, Nick Wright will always take it personal and say, who the hell, who does he think he is to talk about? And I'm looking like, who is this guy? Who is this guy talking about Kobe? Like, who is this guy saying these things about him? And Nick Wright used to go so hard at Kobe. So hard. And then, of course, when he passed away, he had to go out there and put out that fake apology after he was just ripping him like a few days before, right? And then I saw another person on TV called Shannon Sharpe. Now, here's what's interesting about Shannon Sharpe. Prior to Shannon Sharpe getting that job at Undisputed, there was a quote, a tweet that's hanging out there. And somebody put this on Twitter. They said, before the clutch checks, where Shannon Sharpe wrote, on March 11th, 2012, greatest basketball players of all time. Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Hold on, let me pull up the tweet. Let me make sure. I got it right. But basically in this tweet, greatest basketball players of all time. God, Air Jordan, and Kobe. In that order. Go Lakers. But then Shannon Sharpe got a job on Undisputed back in 2015. And all of a sudden, Shannon Sharpe started changing his tune. He started changing the way he was. I mean, Kobe went from being right next to God and Jordan to now he went to 9. And we're like, how did that happen? Shannon, Kobe won his 5th championship in 2010. You said that statement in 2012. He retired in 2016. So what happened? How did Kobe go from number 2? How did Kobe go from number 2 to number 9? How did Michael Jordan go from being next to God to behind LeBron? This is what I always thought. And I'm going to say exactly what I think. You people feel a type of way, or the people that disagree with me, that's your business. I've always felt like Kobe was the guy that was standing in the way of this fake GOAT debate. And I think Kobe was the guy they had to remove. You had to remove Kobe out the way. You had to. He was the one that stood in the way of this phony debate. He was the one. So Kobe was the one that had to be disrespected the most. It had to work that way. It had to. And who were some of the biggest people disrespecting Kobe on television? Nick Wright, Shannon Sharpe. Who's Shannon Sharpe? If you listen to go back and find the video where Shannon Sharpe talks about he was a huge Kobe Bryant fan, and go listen to the reason of why he stopped support. It is one of the most stupidest reasons, but some people will buy it. It was just so dumb. It was just so dumb. But of course, some people will gobble it up. I think that Kobe stood that much of a threat, posed that much of a threat. You couldn't get around him. You couldn't take LeBron from wherever he was, number 5, number 8, number 6, wherever he was, and put him next to Jordan without accounting for Kobe. You could not do it. You couldn't. You couldn't account for moving LeBron to next to Jordan and put him past the guy that for 10 years averaged roughly 30 points a game and made 9 all-first defensive teams. For about 10 years, a 10-year stretch, Kobe Bryant was the best two-way player in basketball. You heard me right. If you don't know, go educate you. He was the best two-way player in basketball. Now, there were players that were better than him on defense, absolutely, like Tim Duncan and some other guys. And there were some guys that could score, but there was nobody that was as good on offense and defense like Kobe Bryant. Nobody. If there was, who's the guy? If there was, who's the guy? Name the guy and then show us what are you basing this off of? Show me the first team, all defenses. Show me the 12 teams, all defense. Show me the teams. Because my dude is tied for most all first defensive selections of all time. And Kobe beat 3 top 75 players And he was the only top 75 player on his roster. And Kobe has the most wins against 50-win teams in the playoffs in NBA history. So how the hell did Kobe just disappear out of all of these rankings? These people did it. I've always felt that way. Kobe was the guy, and it got to the point where people like Allen Iverson was like, yo, what's up with all of this Kobe disrespect? Shaq was like, yo, what's up with all of this Kobe disrespect? Charles Barkley was like, yo, what's up with all of this Kobe disrespect? Some of these NBA players were pushing back like, yo, this is not making sense right now. So some of you guys will be asking, how did they do it? How did they do it? How did they find a way to remove Kobe and just kind of tarnish his legacy? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. Getting certain publications to write certain things. Let me ask you guys a question. You don't find it strange that whenever you see these publications, these sports publications with all of these rankings, don't you find it strange that a lot of these publications have the same list? Don't you find that strange? Let's think about how these lists are generated. These top 10 rankings are generated by quote unquote smart people that sit down, deliberate, do research, and then deliberate on who they think the top players are in NBA history. How is it possible that all of these people working at all of these different companies have very similar lists? How is that possible? How is it possible that the majority of these quote unquote smart people all have LeBron at number 2? How's it possible? Y'all all feel the same way? How's it possible? How's it possible? How is it possible that when you go from number 2, number 3, then all the lists just vary? How is it possible? Why is it that ESPN has Kobe Bryant ranked number 9? Is it because he said that the people that work at ESPN are a bunch of idiots? Is that the reason that Kobe said, oh, I've always known that those guys are idiots? Is that the reason? To me, it's simple. I think they hated Kobe. Is one of the reasons why you see people like Nick Wright crying on television when LeBron hit Kareem's record. He was like, more people are making a bigger deal out of when Kobe passed Jordan than when LeBron passed Kareem. The reason they made a bigger deal out of Kobe passing Jordan than they did out of LeBron passing Kareem was simply this. What you saw was real love. What you were looking for in the case of LeBron was real love, but you can't find real love when the love you guys are quote unquote talking about isn't organic. It's not real. It's not real. LeBron was at the Super Bowl, or was it the Super Bowl or one of those? They booed him. Think about that for a second. The guy that you guys are running around here trying to force feed us, they booed his ass. They booed him. Why would they boo the GOAT? When did you ever see anywhere that they booed Michael Jordan at a sporting event or Kobe Bryant at a sport? When did you ever see that? When? And then he stood up and did like this, like to reaffirm what he believed in his own heart that nobody felt. The love Kobe got was real. Why do you think they wear Kobe's shoes, these NBA players? Why do you hear so many of them speaking so glowingly about, no, ask yourself the question. Why is it whenever you hear hoopers talk about Kobe, they're like, yo, bro was on a different level. He was something else. Kobe was the guy that they had to get rid of in terms of removing him out of debate. That's what I believe, and I've always believed that. I didn't say that's what I know. I said that's what I believe. That's what I believe. And if it bothers some of you that I'm saying this, that is your bloody business. Go open up your channel and make your own video about it. About why you think I'm wrong. I'm sure some of you would do it. Some of the people that I watch. I've never made a video about you, bro, but you're going to make a video about me. Yet I watch you. You know who I'm talking to, Suzette. You know who I'm talking to, Suzette. So I just wanted to get this off my chest. I wanted to get it off my chest because it was something that I was feeling in my heart. And now after finding out that Nick Wright is represented by Clutch Sports, it's all beginning to make, it all makes sense now, Nick. It all makes so much sense. It makes so much sense why you were saying all of those things about Kobe. But some of us are going to keep his legacy alive. Some of us out here are going to still be saying that Kobe Bryant, one of the top 3 greatest players of all time. Some of us are going to do it. And that's what some of you dudes cannot stand. because you want everybody to twerk it up with you. I'm not going to pour honey all over my body the way these dudes is. I'm not doing it. Y'all can forget that. Y'all can forget it. You dudes got enough dudes on TV twerking it up for you on a daily basis. Don't be looking for me. Don't be checking for me. What you dudes want everybody? You want everybody. As long as we're talking sports, I'm going to give Kobe Bryant his proper respect. Yesterday we did a video talking about the most influential players of all time. And I was giving major props to Allen Iverson. The truth has to be told, man. Let's stop with let's cut it out with the twerking. Enough is enough. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you on the next show.